Good evening and welcome to Gradeup. My name is Harshmeet Singh and I welcome you all to this next class in the series where we are discussing important terms related to the UPSC examination. I hope all of you are doing absolutely fine. I pray that all of you are healthy and all of you are staying inside your houses without going outside. Now, I am glad that all of you have joined this particular class. Taking out time in this hard time is not very easy. I know there is bad news that is flowing all around. It's not very easy for people to take their minds off that news and come and try to study. But I'm glad that all of you have taken out time. We are trying to make sure that you divert away from the ongoing news and come back here. On that note, it is my responsibility to make sure that the time that you are spending here in the session is worth it. The time that you are spending here is actually important and useful for you. Today, we will be discussing the Uniform Civil Code. It is one of those issues that keeps on coming in the news time and time again. It is a part of GS2 paper. It is one of those topics that you have heard a lot about. There is a lot of debate about Uniform Civil Code. Should it be applied? Should it not be applied? There are a lot of debates that are going around. We will be touching upon them in today's important series class. Good evening to all of you. Once again, those who have joined in. Hi Manish, good evening. Hi Tirun, good evening. I hope all of you are doing good. Please do like this section, subscribe to the Gradeup IAS YouTube channel also, and whatever you think about this, you can always leave a comment. Let's begin, guys, without waiting any further. Let's first start with what exactly is the Uniform Civil Code. Now, if you look at the laws of the country, there are mainly two types of laws that you see in the country's system. One, there are criminal laws. There are criminal laws. The other types of laws are civil laws. Civil laws basically are personal laws. Civil laws include, for example, laws about marriage, laws about divorce, laws about inheritance of property. Those are the kind of things which come under civil laws. Now, in India, we have the same criminal laws for everyone. So, criminal laws are uniform throughout the country. Irrespective of your religion, if you commit a crime, you will be given the same punishment. A Hindu committing a crime would be given the same punishment as a Muslim committing a crime. So the criminal laws are the same for everyone. That is how the British made it. On the other hand, the civil laws or the personal laws, as you call them, are not the same. Civil laws or personal laws depend upon what religion do you belong to. If you are a Hindu, you will be adjudged as per the Hindu personal law, the Hindu code bill. If you are a Muslim, you would have a different set of laws. There are different set of laws for marriage, divorce, etc. for Hindus, Muslim, depending upon which religion you are in. The idea is that we should have same personal laws also. Irrespective of religion, we should have the same types of laws for marriage, divorce, inheritance in the entire country. This is what Uniform Civil Code is. The idea that we should have same types of laws throughout the country, even if it means having same kind of laws for marriage, divorce, inheritance, etc. That is what Uniform Civil Code is. Now, the Uniform Civil Code, as I told you, the Uniform Civil Code is not in existence right now. It is a part of directive principles, meaning that the government of India has been given this responsibility that in the future, if the government thinks that the country is ready for it, they can introduce Uniform Civil Code. But till now, Uniform Civil Code has not been introduced in India. For the reason that whenever the governments try to do this, they see a lot of debate. There's a lot of criticism because people in India believe that the government should not interfere in their religion. Whenever the government tries to talk about the Uniform Civil Code, people protest against it because they don't want the government to interfere in their religion. The debate about Uniform Civil Code, although it has been in existence since the time of our independence, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, our first law minister, tried to introduce a Uniform Civil Code. However, the large debate about the Uniform Civil Code started with the Shah Bano case of 1985. In the Shah Bano case of 1985, the government was told by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court told that the government should try to introduce Uniform Civil Code, but that has not been done so far. The interesting part is there is one state in India, however, that does have uniform civil code, which is Goa. Now, how is it that Goa has a uniform civil code? The reason why Goa has a uniform civil code is, as you know, Goa was ruled by the Portuguese. Even after independence, for some years, Goa was under the control of the Portuguese. So, when Goa became a part of India, the existing laws of Goa, those that were introduced by the Portuguese, continued to remain in Goa. So, the Uniform Civil Code that you see in Goa right now has been in existence in the state since the time of the Portuguese. So Portuguese के समय से that uniform civil code is existing. That is why the only state in India which has a uniform civil code right now is Goa. Those who have just joined the session, I welcome you all guys. I hope you enjoy it. Do like this session. Don't forget to subscribe to the Gradeup IAS channel also. Now, as I said, Goa is the only state in India that has a uniform civil code, which is called the Portuguese Civil Code of 1860. Under this uniform civil code, a Muslim man whose marriage is registered in Goa cannot practice polygamy. As you know, outside Goa, in other states, a Muslim man is allowed to marry 4 times in India. But in Goa, if there is a Muslim male whose marriage is registered in Goa, because Goa has uniform civil code, a Muslim male can only marry once if the marriage has been registered in Goa. Similarly, if there is a married couple that shares a property equally, their agreements, etc., are all divided equally at the time of divorce. So these are certain changes that you see in Goa as compared to other states. Now, in India, there are some different religions have different laws in India. Let's first start with the Hindu personal laws. Hindu personal laws also include Sikh, Jains, and Buddhist. So we have a separate law for Hindus. There is a group of 4 laws basically: Hindu Marriage Act, Hindu Succession Act, the Hindu Minority and Guardianship Act, and the Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act. These 4 together are called the Hindu Code Bill. These together are called the Hindu Code Bill. So Hindus in India, if their case about marriage, divorce, etc. goes to the court, they are judged under these laws. On the other hand, the Muslims are judged under a different type of law. For example, for Muslims, we have the Sharia law of 1937. The Sharia law of 1937 governs all the personal matters of Indian Muslims in India. It clearly says that personal disputes are not for the state to interfere. It clearly says that if Muslims have a personal disputes in India, the government and their laws cannot interfere. They will be adjudged depending upon the interpretation of Quran and the Hadith. Apart from this, we also have separate laws for Christians and Jews in India, which we don't really talk about that much. So we have different personal laws for Hindus, under which the Sikhs, Jains, and Buddhists are also covered. We have a separate personal law for Muslim. We have a separate personal law for Christians and for the Jews as well. Now, what exactly is the need for a uniform civil code? Number 1, it promotes discrimination. So we have different laws for Hindus and Muslims, so it promotes discrimination and communalism. One other thing you have to understand, every law, every religion in India has one thing in common. Whichever religion that you talk about, the one common thing is their laws are biased against women. It can be the Hindu laws, it can be the Muslim laws, it can be any religious laws. All the religions have this thing in common, that they are all biased against women. So uniform civil code would also allow equality to women, would also allow respect to the women. As I said, the Supreme Court in the Shahbano case of 1985 clearly said that the government should try to introduce uniform civil code. What was the Shahbano case? The Muslim woman, she got divorced. The husband was not ready to pay her any compensation, any alimony, because as per Shariat law, he was not supposed to pay the money. But the Supreme Court said, no, you have to pay the money because the dignity of women is higher than your religious laws. Supreme Court has said that the Uniform Civil Code must be introduced because it is in favor of women also. The practice of triple talaq that was recently banned, it was also something that was biased against females in the Muslim law. Now, what are the challenges? Obviously, it is not very easy to introduce uniform civil code. That is why many governments have tried to do it and many governments have failed to do it. Now, what are the difficulties exactly? First, obviously, Article 25. If you have read fundamental rights, you would know Article 25 guarantees you freedom of religion. Now, people argue, if you have freedom of religion, how can the government interfere in your religion? Similarly, Article 26 also says that you have the right to manage your religious affairs, so government cannot interfere. Article 29 also says if you have a distinct culture, then you can preserve your culture. All these things mean that if the government wants to go ahead and introduce the Uniform Civil Code, they have to amend the constitution. Yes, Manish, I never said Shahbano case related to triple talaq. I'm giving an example that even triple talaq is a point where you can understand how the personal laws are against females. Shahbano case was related to Uniform Civil Code only, beta. Now, the Law Commission also in its report has said that having a uniform civil code is desirable, but the problem is right now the country may not be ready for it. India has always been called as a land of diversity where you're free to practice your religion. Now that if you are free to practice religion, how is it that the government can come and interfere? The problem is that minorities also fear that the government will impose their will on them. If India is a diverse country, if people are given the freedom of their expression, how can the government force any new law upon them? How can the government force a new law? How can the government say, no, we are changing your religious laws? That is again a debate because of which the Uniform Civil Code has not been introduced. Sadly enough, Indian society has always been patriarchal. Patriarchal means led by the males in the family. And they are not ready to change their mindset. Even when the Hindu Code Bill was introduced by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, it led to a lot of protests in the country. Even after the Hindu Code Bill, still women in India amongst the Hindus don't really get a lot of land as inheritance. Because the families etc. are not ready to accept that change. Now there are a lot of merits of Uniform Civil Code also. Number one, if we have a unified code across the country, it might bring integration. It would promote national unity if we have same kind of laws. Second, it would be much more simplified. Right now, depending upon your religion, the laws are different. The judges have to take that into consideration before giving any judgment. So it would be much easier for the courts also to keep a track of these laws. The Indian legal system would become much more simpler. And most importantly, we would have a society where religion is different and the government is different. We would have a society which is truly secular in nature because irrespective of a religion, you will be treated equally. So all these things combine make or give this argument that the Uniform Civil Code is actually in the benefit of the people. As I said, the one thing common with almost all the religions in India is that their laws are against women. So if Uniform Civil Code is introduced, it would also be in favor of women in India. So it would introduce the concept of gender justice. Women would also get their due. And in the long run, it will be helpful for the society because women will be respected. They will also be told that you have equal rights as compared to the male counterparts in the society. This is it about the Uniform Civil Code. This is all that you wanted to know or that you needed to know. Just to remind you, the time is running quickly for the IAS prelims examination. About a couple of months are left, and that is why Gradeup has introduced an amazing end of the month sale offer for you. Use the code PREP55 for a few days only and get 55% off on your Gradeup Super subscription. This is valid for the UPSC subscription also and for the state PCS subscriptions as well. With one single Gradeup Super subscription, you can join any of the ongoing courses, including the IAS Foundation course, the revision course for IAS, etc. There are a lot of batches coming up, and you can choose any batch of your choice. You can join the subscription for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or 24 months, whichever suits you better. You get a lot of benefit. You get access to all the running and upcoming courses. You get structured study plan for each and every subject, expert faculties for all subjects, best of study material, mock tests, and a lot more. These are the faculty members. I'm sure that you would have attended their classes. This is me, Harshmeet Singh. I teach polity and governance. Most of these teachers have given IAS interviews and are vastly experienced in guiding students. You can attend their classes on YouTube as well and see amazing classes, and make sure that you take advantage of that. We are also on Telegram. Do download the Telegram app. Search for Gradeup IAS Preparation. Join the channel. We update study material and short notes regularly. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope all of you are healthy. You're staying inside, wearing a mask whenever possible. Do download the Gradeup app. Practice topic-wise quizzes. Keep attending live classes because sahi prep hai to life set hai. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. I'll see you tomorrow, same time on YouTube.